Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I want to welcome you to the new and improved Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast. After many years of interviewing the best and brightest thought leaders around the world on my SiriusXM show, I am excited to now have those interviews available to people around the globe on this podcast. So many people would write us and say, I love what I've been hearing about your interviews with these great people. Where can I access them? I live in this country or that country, or I don't have access to that technology. How can I get the information? Well, I'm so excited now that we are able to offer the information and the interviews free on this podcast. So we want you to sit back and enjoy this message and let me know how you like them. And then do me a favor. If you like them, send a review, write a review and post it. And if you like it, hit like on here and share it and tell everybody you know about it, and then subscribe to this podcast so you'll get the alerts when we post a new interview episode. Thank you for listening and enjoy the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast.
Named one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world.
Inducted into the Speaker Hall of Fame.
Award-winning singer.
Best-selling author.
And now, here's Willie Jolley.
And it's another great day. This is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, can't refuse it. Didn't seek it, didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer. If I lose it, give account. If I abuse it, it's just a tiny little minute, but our eternities are wrapped up in it. Well, it's a great day, a great minute, a great opportunity, and I'm excited about being on with you again one more time. I am grateful. I want to tell you something today what's going to blow your mind. Today, we're going to talk about how to get out of debt. That's right, today, how you going to get out of debt and still enjoy life. So you don't want to go away from this show today because it's going to get you fired up, tied in, tuned in, and ready to be debt-free and still have lots of fun. Okay, so everybody knows I start, for those who are joining us for the first time, I'll let you know, if you haven't ever heard, that I start with that minute every time I open this show, because that minute is something that's been a part of my life since, oh my goodness, almost 30 years. I learned that minute from Dr. Benjamin Elijah Mays, who was Martin Luther King Jr.'s mentor. It's called God's Minute. And when I started my speaking career almost 30 years ago, I adapted and adopted that minute, and it became part of my messaging and became known as that minute that Dr. Willie Jolley uses. I wrote a book called It Only Takes a Minute to Change Your Life, and then started a daily radio program called the Motivational Minute, which now it's called Wake Up and Win with Dr. Willie Jolley, and you can hear it on Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell every day across America at 8:20 Eastern Time, 7:20 Central Time. And I start with that minute. Second, I start every show by giving God some glory, to thank God for life and strength and health and another opportunity to be and do what I do. I'm grateful. I am grateful every single solitary day I wake up. I told someone recently that I'm grateful for every day, and they ought to be grateful too. I said, you ought to be grateful too. And they said, why? I said, because if you don't wake up, it could be a really, really tough day. You don't believe it? Try missing one. So I give God glory, and I'm grateful. And so I am grateful also for all of you listeners and friends and supporters and part of our community now who make this a part of your schedule. You listen to the show or you listen to the podcast and you make it part of your schedule. But that's not all you do. You also share it. You share it with others. You comment. You make it something that is become viral. So I appreciate that. Continue to share it and tell your friends to tune in or to download the podcast, because you are the ones who've made it one of the most popular shows on Sirius XM and one of the most popular podcasts. And I am grateful for you. I'm also excited about all of you who have said, I love your programming that you do with your wife with the marriage book. Now, many people knew me for many years before the marriage book because of my motivational, inspirational speaking and my music and my PBS specials. And then the books. It only takes a minute to change your life. A setback is a setup for a comeback. Turn setbacks into greenbacks. An attitude of excellence. Chicken soup for the Christian soul. But this marriage book has just exploded. Make love, make money, make it last. And the book has become a very popular book globally. And the fact now that not only do we have the book, but we have the weekly Facebook Live television program, Happily Married Mondays with the Jollies, 9 o'clock Eastern Time on Facebook Live, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, every Monday night. We give you a message to help you win more in your marriage. And I'm very grateful for all of you who tune in. And I encourage you to tune in every Monday night. And we are very excited now about the marriage events that we are doing as an outgrowth of the success of the Happily Married Mondays on Facebook. So we want you to go to jollymarriage.com, jollymarriage.com. Get the book. If you don't have the book, get 2 copies. Get one for you and one for your significant other. There are 10 steps that we learned. We've been married for over 35, well, going on 35 years now, but for the first couple years, it was bad. We were arguing because we didn't have systems, but we met some great teachers, some mentors who taught us principles, systems that worked. And we have not had an argument in over 33 years. Not an argument in 33 years. Do we agree on everything? No. But we learned systems that keep us from arguing and keep us loving and keep us moving in a positive direction together. We are a team, and we team up on the world, and we win more because of that. So we encourage you to get the 2 books, one for each of you. Go through the book, and at the end of each chapter, talk about what you learned. We also have now the audio book as well as the seminar on CD and a workbook. You can get all of that at jollymarriage.com. You can get it physically or you can get it in a digital form and download it. And these marriage events, we've got one coming up soon, and we have more coming up through the year, and you can access them live or by stream. So we want to do what we set out to do: save 1 million marriages, enhance 1 million more. Well, I am excited about the day's show because it is going to be something that blesses you. Oh, it's going to bless you. If you have had debt, how many people here have had some debt? Yeah, I know, just about everybody. And how many of you want to get out of debt? Well, I'm going to tell you how a couple did it, incredible young couple did it, and how they were able to do it, and they can teach you incredible lessons. I actually heard them on the Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell show. I was so intrigued, I reached out to them and said, I want to know more about what you did. They sent me more information, and I said, everybody needs to hear their message. They are a millennial couple. That's what I love about them. A millennial couple that had to face the reality of discussing finances and finding a pragmatic solution to tackling their overwhelming debt. And so it is a pleasure and a privilege to introduce to you Jhanilka and Anthony Hartzog and how they were able in less than 2 years to pay off $114,000 of debt, including student loans, credit cards, paid off their car in 1 year, and they raised their income to help them do it. That's the part that intrigued me, because most people tell you, here's how you get out of debt. Shut down your lifestyle. Don't go nowhere. Don't eat out. Don't travel. Just starve and get out of debt that way, and then when you finish, you'll be all right. But they went a different way. They generated more money. I love this story. So we got a few minutes more in this segment. Before I go further, I want to introduce them and let them tell you more about them, how long they've been married, where they're from, and so forth. So Anthony and Jhanilka Hartzog, welcome to the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Well, tell us a little bit more about where I left out, where you're from, and how you got together, how long you've been married, and all the above.
Okay, so we're from Brooklyn, New York.
Woo-hoo! Brooklyn!
Brooklyn.
Born and raised.
Born and raised there. We lived in the same building, and actually our mothers still live in that same building right now. And so we were, I guess you can say we were dating in high school. Anthony's older, so he went off to college. We separated when he went off to college. We each had our own relationships in college, and once I graduated, we got back together after that.
And then we moved down to Dallas, Texas, about 4 years ago, and we've been married for 3.5 years.
Wow.
May of this year would be 4 years, yep.
Wow.
We've been married.
And so when you finished school, you had student debts, and then I'm sure you lived like most people live. You spent money.
Yeah, so when we finished, I went to grad school, and that's what most of my loans were, private school.
Okay.
It was a private school. So it was really expensive, $68,000 after that.
Wow.
So, yeah, we definitely had the student loans. We were able to pay for our wedding by saving, so we didn't go into debt at all for our wedding. So that was good. And then when we moved down to Dallas, we had got the new car, and so that's how we got that expense. And
a little bit of credit card debt,
yeah.
Yep.
Credit card debt. And I saw a quote just earlier this week that said, debt is a thief. You must capture it. So y'all realized that you had a problem, you discussed it, and then you got a plan, and you went away about not only getting a plan, but also getting some resources that helped you to learn about financial security, financial planning, and financial literacy. So why don't you tell us what was the process? You got married. You got you woke up one morning and said, "Eek, we got a problem, Houston. There's a problem." So tell me what happened.
Yeah, so we got married, and the February. Jhanilka got me Financial Peace University, which is a Dave Ramsey course. It's a 9-week course that kind of talks about money and marriage. And when she got me that course, it was like, well, she really wants to take this seriously. But before then, we had our debt. We sat down in December, and we realized that we were in huge credit card debt. It was about $4,000 or $5,000 in credit card debt right after the holidays, like most people have. And I was listening to Dave Ramsey every single day. He talks about money. He talks about marriage. He talks about God. And, I became a huge fan of his. I was talking about this Dave Ramsey guy and getting out of debt every single day. And she eventually got tired of it and was like, you know what, let's try to do this. But before that, she actually said, one of her New Year's resolutions was to travel more and save more. And I was like, well, it's going to be really hard to travel and save at the same time.
Right. When you first said that the goal was to travel more and save more, those sound like they're mutually exclusive. They sound like they're going in different directions. How do you do both?
Yeah, exactly. So, when she said that, I was like, whoa, how are we going to do both? And I was like, it's going to be really hard to do both this year. And so I kept talking about getting out of the debt. And that February, from 2017, she got me the Dave Ramsey course. And we both went to this 9-week class. We sat down. We took it really seriously. And from there, we started budgeting and we started saving more. And we also started realizing that we could actually get out of debt. And we took it more seriously from there.
Wow. And once you made up your mind, you learned principles for debt reduction. And you also made a decision to take action. Folks, there are a couple things that I want to make sure that y'all heard. And I pull pearls, as for those who listen often, out of all the interviews. And one of the pearls was that they discussed the debt. They discussed their finances. This is a married couple that discussed their finances. Chapter 10 in our book is that money matters. And Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. We talk about money matters. That one of the three big boulders that breaks up marriages in America is money, finances. The other two are sex and communication. So sex, money, and communication. And they handled two of them right at the top of their marriage. They dealt with money and talking about it. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways Show. And for sure, your best is yet to come. We'll be right back. Afraid of flying, I always get my dreams on the ground. Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I have a question for you. Have you ever wondered why some people can make $1 million, lose it, make a second million, lose that, then make a third million, while other people can't even make ends meet? Well, the reason is that those people know the recipe for success. And that recipe is available to everyone if you will do what they did. They made a habit of getting positive, motivational resources of great thinkers and great learners. And I want to offer those same kind of resources to you. We've developed a free page on my website. It's wjspeaks.com/gift. wjspeaks.com/gift. On that site, we've got resources, books, audios to help you to grow, and they're free. So go to wjspeaks.com/gift, wjspeaks.com/gift, and get some of those resources, and then share that page with your friends and your family members. We want to impact and inspire millions of people. And remember, if you enjoy this message on this podcast, like it, share it, and post a review about it, and make a difference in the lives of others by letting them know about it. Have a great day. This is Dr. Willie Jolley.
A to the D to the T to the I to the T to the U to the D to the E. A to the T to the T to the I to the T to the U to the D to the E. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude.
And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways Show. And I hope you are ready to learn how to get out of debt. Are you ready to get out of debt? I mean, seriously, out of debt. Well, let me tell you, this young couple, millennials, that's why I was so intrigued, because they were millennials. And so many of my listeners to the podcast particularly are millennials. And I know many of them are young people with debt. They have a lot of student loan debt. They have credit card debt. And that debt is eating them alive. And so how do you get out of debt? What do you do? And they got married and had to face the fact that one wanted to save, one wanted to travel. Well, and they realized that, okay, we got debt. What do we do? How do we go forward? They got the Dave Ramsey course, which I recommend, by the way. And I'm hoping to get Dave on the show soon. But they got the Dave Ramsey course and learned and went through it. They went through it and learned lessons. They learned principles. Life is about principles. There's a quote I like to use, that methods are many, principles are few. Methods may change, but principles never do. That principles work. If you work the principles, they will work for you. If you throw a rock up, it always comes down, because there's a principle called gravity. And so the same is true for other principles, that they work. They are steadfast. They're rock solid. Well, tell us what you did from there. You decided, okay, what do we do here now? We've got this $114,000 of debt. We got a car note. You had the car note at the same time, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And you're newly married. What did you do? What was the plan? How did you do it? What did Dave tell you?
So Dave always discussed like cutting expenses as well as budgeting. And then I think another big thing for us was just sitting down and putting our numbers together. Because we knew that we had debt, we just didn't know how much combined. So, you have 68 over here, this amount over here. And so knowing our numbers became important, and then starting to budget, which was something that we weren't doing before. We obviously was paying our bills, but we weren't budgeting to know where our money was going. So that became a very important process for us, which we continue to do to this day.
Wow. Now let me take a point there. Know your numbers, folks. That means that you know what the numbers are that are real numbers. You look at the credit card bills. You get the numbers. The numbers are two numbers, particularly in that bill, that you must be mindful of. One is the gross amount of money that you owe, and two is the interest rate. Am I right about it?
Yes, you are. You are right.
Absolutely. I think about one of my wife's nieces one time. She was in debt, and she is newly married, and so she didn't want to deal with the numbers. So when the credit card bill would come in, she put it in a drawer under some clothes. That's how she dealt with the numbers. That was quite a way to deal with the numbers. Well, you know what happened with that. It just grew and grew and grew. The credit card company loves that. Okay, but that is a thief. It takes money from you that you could have. Well, what did you do? You learned your numbers. You talked about your numbers. You discussed your numbers. Then what?
So then we started budgeting, and then we started realizing that we still kind of want to live, kind of the same way. We didn't want to cut too much. So then we realized in order for us to get more money, we have to start working. And we started, picking up other jobs. Originally, Anthony had started working at Equinox, and then I started working there. We began renting out our new car that we bought for people to use it, when they came to town. We also started to dog sit because we have a dog of our own. And so we started to use Rover, which people were just booking us online. And we also started our cleaning company, Made to Match Cleaning Services in Dallas, Texas as well. So we decided, we don't want to cut back. We still want to enjoy things. We still, we're from New York. We want to be able to visit family when needed. So we increased our income by just picking up all these extra jobs.
You know what, folks? A couple things I just love about this couple and about what I heard when I heard them on Get Up Morning with Erica Campbell. One, they talked about knowing the numbers. I love that because that's critically important, that you're not like an ostrich and put your head in the ground because this is difficult. Know the numbers. They might be challenging. They might be frightening, but know them so that you are able to say, okay, I know what I got to do here. Then they did a budget. Now, we can't talk about that. My wife and I can't talk about that enough because we started a budget many, many years ago. We've been married going on 35 years, and we started budgeting probably soon, right after getting married, because we realized we needed a family household budget. And so many people don't have a budget. They don't deal with a budget. They just keep spending. It's like my aunt. My aunt was elderly, and one day she called me and said, I got bank charges and all these bounce checks. I said, you got bounce checks? How do you get bounce checks? She said, well, I still got checks in my checking book. I said, do you have money in the account? But she had not figured out that it wasn't just checks in the checkbook that made the difference. It was the money that was in the account. So there has to be a budget. Then they got busy. This is what I love about this interview. They got busy. They did not just say, okay, we're going to cut to the bone all of our expenses. They still wanted to travel, wanted to go see family members in New York, wanted to have some level of lifestyle. So what they did was what most people are not willing to do. They went to work an extra job. So you both worked full-time 8-hour jobs. Am I right?
Yes, we do.
And then you had secondary jobs.
Yep.
And then you had tertiary jobs. You had 3 times.
Yeah.
And then you started a company.
Yes, we did. Made to Match.
Made to Match. Is that MAID?
Yes.
And Made to Match. It is, and I want to promote it. Where can people learn about Made to Match? Where can they get you? Where can they hire you? Where can they do business with you? Where can they go? Tell them where to go.
Yep. So that's MAIDS2match.com.
And that's the number 2?
Number 2, yep.
All right, so
And,
maids,
we've
2
been-
men. What do y'all do?
Yep, we do residential cleaning in the Dallas, Texas area, DFW.
Wow. So let's see if we got this right. Now, you got full-time jobs. You work 9 to 5.
Yep.
All right.
9 to 5.
And then you go to Equinox, which is a gym, and you work from 5 to what?
10.
5 to 10. Plus you get, now, there's another benefit. You get to get free membership to work out. Am I right about it?
That's correct.
Come on. So that's a saving.
4 or 5 days a week.
That's saving. That's a saving right there. That's one more benefit. They worked at a place where they were going to go anywho, and they got that thrown in as part of their work. But you're getting paid to do what you wanted to do anyway, right?
Yep.
All right. All right. So then, but you didn't stop there. You started renting out your new car. Because, see, the internet, folks, has created all new opportunities, many, many new opportunities for those who are industrious to be able to generate money in new ways. One of them is Airbnb. We know many people are using their homes to make money, so they do Airbnb. But now people can use their car. Tell them about how you did that. I believe it's called Turo. Is that correct?
Yep, Turo.com. So essentially, you just it's a peer-to-peer car rental service, similar to like an Airbnb, like you said. So people on Airbnb, they list their homes where people can stay in for a period of time, and Turo is just a place where people can list their cars for people to rent out. And the reason people do that is because they want to save money and they want to use more final cars. So you go to Enterprise, you go to Hertz or whatever it may be, you're going to get you want to pay for a high-end vehicle, you're going to pay hundreds of dollars. But on Turo, you're not going to pay as much because, these aren't full companies. What you're going to do is just rent out your car, and, you can rent your car at any day or any price point that you want. So people can use it from, a week or 2 weeks or just a day.
Wow. And the insurance is built into the rental. Am I right?
Correct. You are correct.
Right. My niece is in New York. She's in Brooklyn. And she rents out, she has a 3-bedroom apartment. She lives in Sierra Leone, but she keeps her apartment in Brooklyn. She does diamond export, import in Sierra Leone and bought a house there, keeps her apartment in New York when she comes, keep 1 room. She rents out 2 rooms, and she bought a Range Rover with the money that she had been making, and she put that on Turo, and she's making money each way. And that is what I'm talking about, folks. This is the kind of thinking that's going to create wealth in your life, create long-term revenue streams, because you're willing to work and willing to think outside the box. You don't think just in the box, you think outside the box. But then they didn't stop. They also said, we got a dog, and we're going to do something else with this internet. What is Rover? I had never heard of Rover. What's that?
So Rover basically allows you know how some people take their dogs to like PetSmart?
Yes.
Usually with something like that, they'll be in the kennel all day. So with Rover, you can do dog walks for the person, or even cats. You can just go into the home and babysit their pet in their house, or they can come to you and you take care of their pet for daycare or overnight. So most of it we did was like overnight boarding with that, and they enjoyed it because we send them pictures, videos of their dog just being freely in the house with our dog. So it's a bit more personable in that way compared to like PetSmart or one of those.
And your dog liked it?
Oh yeah, he had a blast. I mean, he was shy, so
Okay.
It was a good opportunity for him to get a bit more open to other dogs. He didn't have any issues with them because you can always do a meet and greet to make sure they're a good fit. You can say what size dog you take, so it's very flexible.
Wow. So,
Yeah.
1, they work full-time job. 2, they work in the evenings after their full-time job. 3, they rent out their car, making money while it's just sitting there. 4, they dog sit with Rover because they got the dog anyway. Might as well have the dog have some friends over for a party, and then they made money from that. And then we're going to talk about how they created this maids to match, and we're going to talk about that after this break. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show. We'll be right back. Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I got an email from a gentleman in Australia who shared how he had been struggling in his business, and he bought some of my books and audios, and how it had a profound impact on his business, and he went from worst to first in his company. I shared with him how much I appreciated his note, but I told him those books, those audios, those videos were not just something that I just thought up one day and started to write. They were born out of my experiences, out of the challenges of overcoming the problems and the difficulties and how I was able to do it. And I shared with him that others have sent similar messages and that these resources work. I want to encourage you and invite you to go to my store. Go to wjspeaks.com/shop. wjspeaks.com/shop. Get some of the books. It only takes a minute to change your life. Or a setback is a setup for a comeback. Or turn setbacks into greenbacks. Or chicken soup for the soul. Or an attitude of excellence. Or the book I wrote with my wife after 34 years of being married and not having an argument in over 30 years. We wrote a book called Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. And now it is saving marriages all over the globe. Go to the store, get some of the audios, the videos, the books, the resources to help you have greater personal and professional success. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Make this a great day on purpose. And we're back, Dr. Willie Jolley and the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways show. And I want to take a moment to also tell everybody about our brand new website that just launched. I want to encourage you all to go to the website, check it out, pull it up on your mobile. It's actually designed for mobile more so than desktop, because we know most people now are checking out their web information on their mobile phones. And the new site is called Win with Willie. winwithwillie.com. winwithwillie.com. If you want to win in business, you got a place to go there. You want to win in marriage, there's a place to go there. You want to win in life, we got a place for there. You got to win with speaking enterprise. You want to start a speaking enterprise, there's a place there to go. And if you want to win in a minute, then we've got my daily motivational minutes that are both radio and television, and win with my products, my books, my audios, my CDs, my DVDs, all of the products that will help you win more. Our goal is to help you win in every sector of your life. So there'll be information on financial winning, on marriage winning, on speaking, on business. If you want to grow your business or grow your team, we got that. Many people know I'm the guy that Ford Motor Company brought in when they were on the brink of bankruptcy in 2006, and I worked with Ford in 2006, 2007, 2008, and 2009. Ford was able to reject a government bailout and go from losing $1 million a month to making $1 billion a month in a down economy between 2006 and 2009. Now, what changed? The economy was down. What was changing was the thinking. So I help people change their thinking so they can change their future. You can get all of those kind of resources so you can have my influence, whether it's to help you with your church, to grow the customer service culture, or to help you with your company. We want you to win. So go to winwithwillie.com and be part of our community, because we want to transform people every which way. My guest today are the Hartzogs. Now, they are just dynamite. I mean, they're just dynamite. I love their thinking. This is so exciting because Anthony and Jhanilka, they did not just get married and drown in debt. They said, okay, we got debt, over $114,000 of debt. We got a new car. We got to pay this. And we can either drown in debt or we can do something about it. They learned about financial literacy from Dave Ramsey, and then they got a plan to go about getting out of debt, as well as living the lifestyle that they like. They like to travel, and they've been all over the place. Tell them some of the places you've been as you've traveled in this process and continue to live your life and continue to get out of debt? Tell them some of the places.
So last year, kind of as like a little debt trip, we went to Cabo. Then we did Maldives and Dubai for our anniversary and another like grand payoff trip for ourselves. We also went to Jamaica, Miami, New Orleans, New York.
Trinidad.
But coming up, we have like Trinidad and then Morocco. We have Greece and Brazil. So we are definitely traveling it up now that we've paid off all the debt.
Wow. And in other words, too, what you did in getting the debt paid off was you built some muscles. You built some muscles in terms of your capacity to generate revenues. And once you hit your goal, you didn't stop making money, okay? And you paid off your car in a record amount of time. How long did it take to pay off the car?
It was exactly 1 year to date.
1 year to pay off your car. They paid off $114,000 of debt, paid off a car, and have traveled. That's what blew my mind, because most people, they think, okay, I gotta pay off this debt. I gotta eat nothing. I can't go nowhere. I gotta starve almost. And I can't ever travel. That's not a part of my going to be my life for a long time. But y'all went a different way. You thought a different way. You know, I think that's what intrigued me the most. What made you think the thought, let's not just cut back. Let's make more money. What was it? Is something in your background? Did you have parents who were hard workers or entrepreneurs or worked multiple jobs? What was it? Because somewhere in your life there was an influence that made you say, think different. What was it? Or can you put your finger on it?
So, okay.
It was more, I think, this is Anthony, I listened to a lot of podcasts and a lot of speakers, and a lot of people are talking about making money. And I think it was probably natural just to apply the two to the situation. So I listen to tons of podcasts, and I'm in certain groups on social media, and all day, every day, people are talking about different ways to make money. And I think listening to some of those people and influencers talking about making money, I don't know what their background is. I don't know, what their reasoning is to make more money, but it was just natural to apply that to our current situation.
And I think also for me to be on board and to not have the issue, it was like, well, we're going to have to increase our income, because I personally did not want to cut down so dramatically. So it just made sense that, I work from home. I get off of work by 4 o'clock. I have all these other hours left in the day that I could do something else. But to tell you the truth, no, I didn't grow up with, my mother's a teacher, but I didn't grow up with my parents having multiple jobs. I had my first job like junior year in college. So
wow.
I never would have thought that I'll be working multiple jobs. If you would have told me that before, I'd be like, oh, no, I'll just do my standard, 9 to 5. But I think, like he said, with him listening to those and just getting those ideas and seeing, like, all these people are doing it, it's possible, that's what helped us to make that decision.
Well, then the lesson is what changed my life, changed Anthony's life. Input determines output. Garbage in, garbage out, but good stuff in, good stuff out. When I changed my life from a nightclub singer who got fired and replaced by a karaoke machine and decided, okay, I've got to do something different in my life. Someone gave me a cassette motivational tape. I had never heard a motivational tape. And on that cassette was a guy named Charlie Tremendous Jones, an old-time motivational speaker, one of the earliest old guard motivational speakers. And he said something that became famous that people repeated. He said, in 5 years, you'll be the same person you are today, except for 2 things: the people you meet who inspire you and the books you read that empower you. And so, obviously, that inspired me. So I started reading books, and y'all got Dave Ramsey's program, and started listening to people who inspired you, podcasts. And so I went to seminars. I listened to motivational tapes. I started thinking bigger. I started thinking different. And I started saying, like when my wife was working her good government job in Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. for a congressman, and I said, I want you to come work with me. Now, I've been in business maybe 4 or 5 years by that time, and I was stretched thin. I was speaking. I was running the company. I was doing the books. I needed help. She ran a congressman's office and kept it running like a spinning top. It was just perfect. I said, if you can do that for a congressman, think what you could do for me. But she did not want to leave her job. And she kept saying, but what are we going to do about health insurance? What are we going to do about this? And I kept saying, we're going to make more money. That's what we're going to do. We just got to make more money. We got to hustle more money. You got to grind it out. But we can do this. And we did. And we did.
Yeah, that's amazing.
All right, so here's what I love about this. Now the next step is you've got the Maids to Match cleaning company. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so that cleaning company idea, Anthony actually got it from a podcast. We heard a college student saying that he was making $10,000 a month from his cleaning company, but he wasn't doing any of the cleaning.
Wow.
So that was what brought it to his attention. And go ahead.
Yeah, and that was huge because what he did was I reached out to him. I found him online. I found out who he was and what he was about, and I reached out to him. He's a very genuine guy, and he pretty much told us, what he was doing to get to that stage. And I was like, well, he did it. He was in college. We can do it because we're adults, and we should have figured this out a lot sooner. And that's what happened with that.
Right, and so we started the company, and the company really is basically connecting cleaners with cleaning jobs. Because currently we use independent contractors, and you can book all of our services online. We don't have to go into the home to give like an in-home quote. And once we get the jobs, we assign it to our contractors, and that's kind of how it's been.
And the best part about it is that – oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say the best part about it is that we are, helping people change their lives. We have people who work with us. They're coming to us because they're looking to make more money. And the thing about it is we're not just assigning random people to homes. We are vetting these cleaners out. We're doing background checks. We're making sure they have insurance. We're making sure they actually can do the job, and they do it very well. And there's a lot of people out there just have that hustle culture, and they're just looking to make more money. And they don't have websites. They don't have fancy online articles, and they don't have any online presence. But we created all of that for them so that they can get more jobs. And the people who are coming to us are just looking for people who do great work. So that's why we're able to connect cleaners who don't have that online presence to people who are actually looking for cleaners for their home. Wow.
Now, let me ask you one more question. Is this just for the Dallas area or Texas or what?
It's just for the Dallas area. We've actually worked with couples, not just couples, just people in general who are looking to do the same thing that we're doing. So we pretty much started a kind of like a platform where we can help them for the course of like 4 weeks or 5 weeks, or however long it takes to get what their idea is up and running. So we work with a few couples now in different areas who are trying to do the same thing.
So how can people reach you? Because I want people to call you, reach you, or whatever, or however you want them to reach out to you, maybe online. But I want people to reach you so, one, they can learn from you. And two, I think there's a book in here somewhere. I want to encourage you to be thinking there's a lot more down the road for you guys because you're entrepreneurial. You are thinking outside the box. And I'm just glad I met you on the early part because when y'all are billionaires, I want to be able to say, they're my friends. They're my friends down in Dallas. So tell people how they can reach y'all.
So really, Instagram is a big spot where you can reach us. And our link is in our bio there where we do consulting calls. We have a debt payoff course that we sell as well. But they can reach us on Instagram at The Hartrimony, and that is TheHartrimony.
And if you Google our name, Anthony and Jhanilka Hartzog, Hartzog, you can find us all over social media, all over the web. We don't have like an actual family website just yet, so we're working on that right now. You can email me personally, my first and last name at gmail.com, and we are extremely responsive. So all inquiries and anything like that can definitely go there.
Well, and how about the Maids to Match?
Yep.
Is that
you can find that.
Yeah.
You can find us there at MAIDS, 2, match.com. and you can just find us online, book us online, and pay us online, and we'll show up, do the job, and we have great reviews, long reviews all over the web as well.
Wow. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. We're going to be back talking about how to get out of debt, how to think bigger, how to make more money, and how to live your best life. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show, and for sure, your best is yet to come.
Friendship is not about being convenient. It's about being committed and consistent.
You can call on me
When you need me,
call me. You can call on me.
call me.
You can call on me.
Pick up the phone
You can call
and call me.
If you need me, you can
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and people often ask, how did I go from a broke, busted nightclub singer to become a best-selling author and to be voted one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world by the 175,000 members of Toastmasters International? The answer is that I decided to invest and change my thinking, invest in my mindset, and decided to change my inputs because inputs determine outputs. I heard about a seminar years ago when I was just getting started. I was making about $100 a speech. And I heard this seminar that was creating millionaires, and it cost $10,000, but the guy was getting results. I didn't have that kind of money, but I decided to borrow it because I learned that there's a price for success, the price of college, the price of going to school, the price of education. And there's a price for success, and then there's a cost for not paying the price, the cost of staying the same. And that cost is greater than the price. It's too expensive. And so I went, and it changed my life. And I came back and quickly made $100,000. I heard a similar story from Dr. Dave Martin, how he went to a success rally, heard a speaker who inspired him. He and his friends said, wow, that's changed my life. The speaker had a package of materials to help build wealth. The package cost $1,500. And that was all the money Dr. Dave had to his name. Dr. Dave's friend asked, do you think this stuff is worth it? Dr. Dave thought for a moment. He said, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. But I do know that I'm worth it. I'm worth it. He invested that money in that package and used the materials to grow his thinking. He grew his mindset. He shared how that $1,500 investment has gone on to generate millions in revenues. He's a multimillionaire. And he has homes now in Arizona and Florida. I want to say to you, it's time to invest in you. I want to give you some materials that will help you, grow your mindset, grow your future, grow your finances. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire. wjspeaks.com/billionaire to get some materials that will inspire your success and help you find that there's a price for success, but there's a cost for not paying the price. And the cost is always greater than the price. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire and get the bag, the box, or any of the materials there and keep growing your wealth. And remember, as a man thinketh, so as he is, and your best is yet to come.
motivated, highly motivated, motivated, gonna take it to the top. Motivated.
And we're back. Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show. My special guests today are Anthony and Jhanilka. I have to say it correctly. Jhanilka Hartzog, right? And Jhanilka, is that where's that name from, Jhanilka?
Well, my family's from Panama, but my mother made up the name, so
Okay.
it doesn't really have any meaning or anything.
All right, Jhanilka.
Yes.
All right. Well, it sounds royal and regal to me. Anyway, the Hartzogs, and you can learn more about them, watch interviews on The Hartrimony, H-A-R-T, R-I-M-O-N-Y. Am I right?
Yeah.
All right.
The word "the" is in front of it. Yes.
The Hartrimony. That's great, folks. And I loved it because they're a married couple who are working together. They are building a life together. And as y'all know, those who listen deep Taylor Jolley, my bride of 35 years, and I work together. We've built a life together. We travel together. We have built a company together. And now we're even expanding with our own marriage events that we're putting on. And you can get those at jollymarriage.com. You can get our new site, winwithwillie.com, which also has our faith site, our business site, our, if you want to be in the speaking business, how to get in the speaking business site, our youth site for people who have children and want to motivate their kids. There's some information on motivating your children. So we want to have 360 kind of presence and people around the world who get access to my resources and my materials. So the Hartzog, that's the Hartzogs, have been able to do something pretty phenomenal. That they are millennials. I love that. They've been married for, is it 4 years coming up or 4 years now?
4 years in May.
Yeah. All right. And then you had $114,000 worth of debt, credit cards, student loans, all the above, plus a new car. You paid off the student debt and the car. You did the car in a year. And you did not cut your lifestyle down to the bone. You still had a lifestyle. You still traveled, but you went about it a different way. You went about creating more revenue streams. And oh, did you create revenue streams? Not one, not two, not three, but multiple revenue streams, multiple streams of income. And that, folks, I think is what intrigues me most, that they had just the mindset to say, okay, we're going to generate more money. And they're continuing to do it. And I believe this is just the start. I'm just predicting. I'll tell y'all something. When I wrote my book, A Setback Set Up for a Comeback, I saw another lady who had that kind of fire. She had a little radio station in Washington, D.C. It was in a little building at the corner of 4th and H Street Northeast, which is the hood. And she had one station, WOL. And she had that same kind of fire. Well, today we know her as the chairwoman emeritus and the chair and the founder of Urban One, Radio One, Kathy Hughes. I interviewed her 20 years ago on my for my book, A Setback is a Set Up for a Comeback, and wrote about her in the book. And I said, you're going to hear about her. Well, today I forecast that she was going to do great things. She has proven me to look like a genius, but I just saw that fire in her. Now, the biggest radio network in the world, owned by African Americans that are also on the New York Stock Exchange, and TV One. All because she had that fire and she refused to give up. I see the same with you folks, and y'all are gonna do great things. Well, let's recap. Make sure everybody got, and anything I left out, y'all let me know. One, you got married, and one of the first things you did was you're honest with each other. You talked about the numbers. And said we got some financial challenges. We're in debt. As that commercial where the guy is on his riding mower, he says, I am at the country club. I've got kids in private school. I've got a new car. And he said, I'm my eyeballs in debt. Oh my, what do I do? Well, what y'all did was y'all said we're in debt and we're not going to just sit here. You started learning about finances. So you got a program to help you learn about finances. 2, you set a budget. You got a budget. You learn your numbers, and then you set a budget of what you're going to spend, how you're going to spend monthly. Then 3, you started saying, okay, how can we not just get out of debt by cutting to the bone? Let's generate more money. So you worked your 9 to 5 every day, both of you, and then you worked 5 to 10 in the evenings at a gym. But then you didn't stop there. You got a car that that you were paying for. You said, let's make money on it and not just pay out money going out. Get that money, that car working for us as well. So you put it on Turo and let people rent the car. Then you had a dog, and you said, let's figure out how to have the dog have a party with some of the dog's friends. So you created a program on Rover where you could do dog sitting. And then you created a new company that you are able to generate income by helping people who need residential cleaning to supply the cleaners who'll come and do the work for them. Wow. Am I right?
You are right on the money.
Right. Thank you for that.
Woo! Y'all are on the ball. Y'all are on the ball. And I see big and bold and great and grand things coming. And the fact that you're doing it as a couple, and that you are giving God the glory, and that you're just working hard, and you see that, as I told a group, you don't have to be the brightest bulb in the pack to make it in America. You don't have to be. I'm a clear example. You don't have to be the brightest, but I was the half of the class in high school who made the top half possible. All right. But I learned the value of work ethic. Go to work. Get to work. And so I've got speaking. I've got books. I've got television. I've got radio, both daily radio on something you can get in your car, what we call terrestrial, and satellite radio with Sirius XM, which now is the Sirius XM. We repurpose that for iHeart Radio podcast, C-Suite Radio podcast, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And we're putting now our own events on for our marriage events, our entrepreneurial events, our motivational events that we put on, that we do. And our books, for many years, I was with all the major publishers. It Only Takes a Minute, Change Your Life, and A Setback, A Setup for a Comeback, with St. Martin's Press, big New York publisher. Turned Setbacks into Greenbacks, was with Wiley, another big New York publisher. Chicken Soup for the Soul. And then we decided, well, let's do our own book. So we created our own Jolly Life Publishing imprint, and our marriage book is produced by us, that we took the risk. But let me tell you what I found. Where there is no risk, there is no big reward. But if you're willing to take a risk and you're willing to fight hard and keep working, you can win. I tell people there are 4 questions you must ask yourself. What's the best that could happen if I do this? Take this risk. Number 2, what's the worst that could happen if I do this? Take this risk. Number 3, what's the most likely thing to happen if I take this risk? And number 4, am I willing to live with the worst to get to the best? So when I quit my job and said I'm going to become a full-time speaker, what was the best that could happen? I could live my dream, go all around the world, make millions of dollars. What would be the worst that could happen? Worst? I could lose my house. Yeah. But death was not one of the options there on that worst. So I wasn't going to die. I can get another house if that came to that. Third, what's the most likely thing? Well, the most likely thing is it'll be tough, but if I work hard enough, I'll keep my head above water. And number 4, am I willing to live with the worst, lose my house,
also,
and get to the
you
best?
Also said something very important there. You said that if the worst thing that could happen is you lose your house, and also the worst thing that can happen is you have to go and get another job.
Right.
That was very important that you said that too.
That's right. That's exactly right. So, but death was not one of the ones of the option. So as long as I wasn't going to die, it was worth doing it. And now we have done that. I did that, and I took that risk, and I have lived my dream speaking in Dubai and South Africa and Japan and all over the world because I was willing to take a risk. And I'm saying that these young people, the Hartzogs, took a risk. Well, you guys are awesome. You're just awesome. Where can people reach you again? Please tell everybody where they can reach you, how they can reach you, and how they can also maybe do some business with you down the road.
Yep. So Instagram is the quickest way to reach us. That is our Instagram handle is THE Hartrimony, which is a play on our last name, Hartzog and Matrimony. So that's HARTRIRIMONY. The Hartrimony.
The Hartrimony. Well, Anthony, Jhanilka, y'all are awesome. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule. Thank you for inspiring people today that, one, it's possible to get out of debt and be young and get out of debt and work hard and get out of debt and be millennials and understand that you have a great future if you're willing to learn the numbers, do the work, and grow. Thank y'all for being my guests.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. It was great. Thank
I
you.
can't wait to get to Dallas again to meet y'all and have dinner together.
Oh, we appreciate it. Thank you. Definitely.
All right. This is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I want to encourage everybody to go to my new website, winwithwillie.com. Winwithwillie.com. We're going to help you win with your business, win with your children, win in your faith, win in your personal life, with your finances, win with a minute of inspiration, and win in every part of your life. Go and check it out and become part of our community. And remember, for sure, your best is yet to come. Go to jollymarriage.com and get our updates on the new events that are coming that we're putting on that you can join us. And remember, you were born to win. Have a great day. God bless you.
Are you tired of crying and complaining? Tired of feeling like life don't treat you fair? Do you see so many others moving on while you're steady going nowhere? Have you maybe come to the conclusion that there's nothing at all that you can do? Well, just look in any mirror and you'll see who is real.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode, and I hope you got something of great value. And I hope that you were inspired, you were motivated, you were empowered, and you were encouraged to live your best life. I hope this information and this inspiration will help you to do more, be more, and to achieve more. That's the goal why I started this program, and I hope it helped you in a mighty way. Now, I ask you to make sure and that you take full advantage of all the resources that came through this program. I hope you go to wjspeaks.com/gift and get some of the free resources that we have there for you. I hope you go to wjspeaks.com/shop to get some of the books that we have created, that we've labored over to make sure that they will deliver a powerful message to you. I hope you go to williejolly.com/billionaire, williejolly.com/billionaire, or wjspeaks.com/billionaire to get the box that it will inspire your whole family, or get the bag of books. Make this a great day, a great week, a great month. And remember, it is true that you are blessed and all things are possible for them that believe. So make the most of the belief that you have now in your future. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Have a great day.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.